Yeah.
Hey, what's up, my people? That intro though. What's
that
up?
intro though. It's like moving on up.
Man. So in
Jay
case
Cruz
y'all
on the
didn't
intro.
realize, right now you tuned into the ProQuo Show, and I am
Yes,
Quo. And
I
to
am
the
Pro.
left of me, which is this way on the screen, that's
Which way
my
am I?
man. That's my man right there, Pro.
I can never figure that out. People think because you do math or something that you have directions figured out in backwards mode. I'm always going the wrong way with that because sometimes I mirror the screen. Sometimes I never have that figured out. Walking into walls back here, Jay Cruz. Jay Cruz, how was your week?
My week was jam-packed with a lot of excitement, my man.
Yeah, it was a crazy week, right?
Yeah, we put a lot of work together, especially the past 2 days. We got a lot of work put in.
What up, Felix? Yeah, absolutely, man. For those of y'all who don't know, that was Jay Cruz's baby right there. That little intro. We've been working on the music. We've been really working on the music, man. Trying to make some headway. But that's what we do. That's what Pro and Quo does. We do music.
And forgive me, y'all. My daughter in the background here.
Hey, man.
She's trying to chill. You know what I mean? It's okay. You're gonna get her audio a little bit, but
got my daughter in the bath. I'm always saying that lyric.
That's it. It's about family, transparency, right? And authenticity, which is so beautiful.
To a point.
So beautiful. It's to our advantage now.
It's as authentic as you can be. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You gotta save some of the people, So I threw on this white shirt and this wrinkles irritating me. I threw it on because I keep fading into the dark here with my new computer auto setting on my computer. Speaking of keeping it real, right? See how it just comes on like that? You just never know.
That white shirt was a smart move because it is.
Except you seeing the wrinkles, because this was a gift from my son for my birthday. So I just, I was like, I don't want to dirty the white, but let me put the white on.
Too bad. It looked clean. You're good.
Man, it's all you can. If you can't be clean right now, when you're not leaving the house during COVID times, at least I'm not leaving the house that often.
Yeah.
When can you be clean? I went. Speaking of which, this is a very unofficial, official, non-official sponsor right here. So I went to Popeyes. All right. Now, for those of y'all who know, Pro vegetarian, right? Don't do the meat thing. But my son was like, "Daddy, I want Popeye's chicken sandwich tonight." I was like, "What? Where are you coming up with this?" He's like, Remember back when I stayed up on New Year's?" He said, remember back when I stayed up on New Year's real late and I ate the whole thing? Because I think I can eat the whole thing today. You don't have to get me French fries or anything. He's like, he's got it all game planned out. So I went there, got that. I don't go to Popeyes like that. So there's one real close to where I am. So get in there and the line is like around the street in the middle of the traffic, like coming out into the traffic. You got to go up the hill, like into their parking lot thing. Crazy, man. I'm like, what is this fascination with Popeyes, man? Did you know? I mean, I know you know about
I heard it might be the biscuits, I think, or the cornbread, maybe. I think that's what it is.
Really?
I believe so, because I've literally eaten it when I was in Virginia. I lived in Chesapeake, Norfolk area for a while,
right?
And Popeyes was the hit. You know what I mean?
Okay. And y'all out there know? I mean, don't let Jay be the only person. Like, y'all, chime in here, please.
I really don't know. I ate there like maybe 5 times.
Okay. I mean,
You know
I've
what I
had the
mean?
biscuits. To me, they're like buttery and salty, and it just
Yeah,
makes
that's
you
why I said, as soon as I said that, I said, you know what? I think it's the cornbread. I
yeah.
remember people being
What I
fascinated
mean.
with the cornbread, but anyway, I'd rather have grandma's cornbread, my girl's cornbread.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
For
Yeah,
real.
I mean, cornbread much more fulfilling and right there.
So,
Yeah,
Pro,
man.
how was your week?
Dog, it was a crazy week, man. I mean, this whole presidential election thing had me on pins and needles. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm,
20th, 21st. I mean, I got 20 and 21 in my head, back to back. But
yeah,
crazy, man. It was like dust my shoulders off or just take a weight off my shoulders. But
yeah, exactly right. That weight
sort of,
was lifted.
yeah, I mean, sort of, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it was a weight, no doubt. It was a weight off the shoulders, but
Mm,
it's just like trying times and everything. And it's just like, there's no magic, kind of snapping your fingers, end game kind of style and everything's back to all good. But,
mm.
yo,
I'm
it's,
just
I
glad
mean,
that for the poor people, you know what I mean? There's that stimulus check between 1,400 to 2,000 is going to do a lot for people that are struggling because they can't go to work. So hopefully he sets that in motion like quick. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Like that needs
no
to
doubt.
happen ASAP for the people.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I mean, the stimulus stuff, there's hope there. You know what I mean? It's just a
Mhm.
competent person. Like people are all about all the time, shooting in my ear because they know I make no qualms about where I stand politically all over my social media. You know what I mean? And so it's like people will always call me. Yesterday, I literally had friends of mine I haven't talked to in like 6 years chiming in on LinkedIn, right?
Mhm.
Back when I lived in Cambridge, right? People I know there just chiming in on me and hit me up. I haven't talked to them forever, like that many years. And they're like, seriously, why are you all excited about Trump being out? And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
all right. It's just a competent human. I mean, and I have much more to say on that, but this is just to start the conversation. It's just like, an adult is in charge. You know what I mean? That's it. Just an
Mhm.
adult's in charge. It doesn't even have to get into politics, right? It's like, yeah, I know it's not going to be, like I said, the snap or whatever necessarily, and everything's going to be all good, but it might. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But that there's hope there. But I'm just happy that it's a competent person. And I think that's where a lot of people stand. It take literally the knee off you know what I'm saying? Like, you know where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Take
Come
that
on, man.
metaphorical knee off, you know what I mean? And just in so many ways, so
Yeah, and I think, for me not being too much into politics, I would say that any human being that goes and gets their title as the president of the United States is an incredible person.
mm,
No matter how the situation played out for that person to get there, they made it, right? So, hands down, you have to say that every president we have had in this country has been an incredible person.
well, they
Now,
did something incredible, that's for sure.
right, something created that person to be incredible. But
Mhm,
when it comes down to now seeing that, like the veils lifted, the authenticity
mhm,
comes out, and then you start to see, okay, well, what direction are you trying to go, and who are you really, and what are we following?
yes,
You know, that's all I've been hearing. And reality is, like I said, I don't have a strong opinion on it. I'm like reality is 8 years is the worst case, next 8 worst case. So it's always going to change, just like the 4 seasons.
mm,
You know what I mean? It's nothing's going to change. The only thing you could do is get better yourself.
yeah, no
But
doubt.
that's also having that privilege too. You know what I'm
Well, I got
saying?
I got strong opinions on it, but I'll
Oh,
you know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
No, and I like reality is I do too. You know what I mean? Because if it's that when you are when I say privilege, and we know what that is something that if I had to worry every day, like certain people I know, just being the color they are, that is that issue. Like I can't really absorb it internally. You know what I'm saying? I can only see it through others, and it's unfortunate for me because I would not. I don't want to say I would love, but I would appreciate that feeling to see what it would do for me as a human. It would
Mm,
create, I'd be bigger and better
mhm,
because you know what I mean? So I
mm,
just hope that situation that we just experienced worldwide, especially for my, melanin full people, um, it's only made us stronger reality, especially with the direction that we taking it, for our people and our supporters. Like, yo, the world is gonna be crazy, man. Seeing what we got coming up, the future is bright for the ProQuo Show and
mm.
also the Instant Brotherhood ProQuo album that we putting together, the power of what we're about to do and show to the people is you know, hands down second to none, really.
Wow.
And shout out to my people second to none. I kind of bit that off for y'all real quick. My local people.
Yeah, man. So y'all seeing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's where we at. That's where we at. ProQuo Show, January 22nd, 2021. We got Rhonda Greene in the green room. And so we're going to continue that conversation pretty soon. And amongst anything, I've known Rhonda for a real long time. Rhonda's an exceptional person. She's right there. That's a little bit about her. Check out this, right? Check out just the bullet points, right? You read that top one. What's that top one say?
Educator.
That's right. I put that one in white, right? Just to jump that out. She's an educator. You know what I mean? I don't know if she'd say that first and foremost, but you know, to me, she's a mentor for the youth, you know, and she's like that positive personality. As soon as you meet her, she's this warm person who obviously cares about her community, her family. She's a strong sense of family, strong community person. From Cambridge, Mass. And, you know, you look at that and then you look at the bottom, youth counselor, mentor, probation officer, right? That kind of jumps out. So it's kind of talking about blending, you know, we always talking about that, how you blend different aspects of your personality to try to, you know, get where you're going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, you know? And so that's an interesting story right there. Say no more, you know, with that sort of mini bio right there. So I'd be real interested in talking to Rhonda. I can't wait for that.
I like that. That mentor section is huge too, because that's so important, you know.
Let me go back.
Life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't want to overshadow that. So I feel like though I've never had, you know, any kind of law experience, I've had conversations with Rhonda in the past and her family and you know, other and friends and stuff about sort of the strong sense of community in Cambridge and about people trying to, you know, police the right way and so forth, and trying to come up as like a generation of people who came up who tried to make a change, people of color, Black people who are law enforcement officers in Cambridge. So that's an interesting story too. I'm sure we'll be able to jump into that too and what Rhonda's up to. So that will be crazy. This thing right here, man, by Donald. Hi, Joey B. Joe Biden. I was calling him Joey B. And hi, Jim H. You know who Jim H is, Pro?
Who's Jim H?
Pro.
Whoa. Who's Jim H?
See, I had to preface this right here. If y'all were checking, anybody watching, right? 1/20/21. 1/20/21 wasn't just the presidential inauguration. It was James Harden in that trade, dog. James Harden going to the Nets.
That's a big deal, kind of.
Oh, that's like right up there.
That's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big
crazy day, man. Crazy day. So, man, that's you know, can never escape it. And break it down right there, man. I don't know if we can get Don Juan pretty soon to run that little clip that you put together, but I want to have Jay Cruz break down. I want to kind of like mini interview Jay Cruz this time around. It's kind of break down on the lyricism of some of these lyrics that you've been putting together, because we've been having big talks about that offline.
Do that.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited about that. So I look forward to having your analysis there. Woo! So yeah, man. So that's what we got on deck. I'm just reading these comments here. Some of these people in there. I'm looking at this.
No, I haven't been. My bad, y'all. I haven't been paying attention.
So Don Juan, man, I'm looking at No Lives Matter out there talking. I'm trying to follow his chat in there. Is he talking about vocal mixing? He's trying to talk about vocal mixing. Is that what you want to talk about? No Lives Matter, vocal mixing.
Hey, No Lives Matter too. I like that. That's beautiful. How dare he talk race as a white man? Like,
I saw that comment.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it now. So you know, I am, when it comes to race and ethnicity, I consider myself, you know, I might be human. I might be. I don't know.
You might be.
I think I might be human, but my authenticity and race is hip hop culture. Bottom line, I don't know where the hell I come from, and neither really do you. Maybe, right? We all
John won't put
the same.
Sorry, man. Oh yeah, no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's all good, but we all bleed the same blood. Everything underneath this melanin is. That's why I don't say black, white. I say melanin deprived or melanin full, right? But you know, my family is of all ethnicity, and that's my family. So you know, I can't experience the same pain as my melanin full brothers, but I can hear about it and I feel it because they're my brother. It's like if your brother got punched in the face, man, you're gonna do something about it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel about it all across the board. And I'm blessed with that because a lot of white people that, again, melanin deprived people, they can't even come
Oh,
close
it's
to
scary. I know
compromise.
it's scary, man. It's like, you get in a room of, multiracial people, white people, black people, multiracial people, and you see the white people getting real nervous talking about race and everything,
Yeah,
like they're about to get punched in the face or something. It's like
because
sweating
they
and
have no idea. They don't. There's not even a comprehension level. I have a
it depends
minimal
what room you're
minimal.
in, but I mean, yeah, but I mean, a lot of times I hear you. I mean, you get in these situations and it's just like people start talking about race and all of a sudden they're just, like they're trying to leave or find excuses. And yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's like there's nothing that I have ever found that really trips up white people talking more than race, which is crazy. It's like it's almost like a taboo topic. Like to use or avoid saying color words too. Like you talking about like melanin, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just be like,
Yeah,
nah,
definitely.
I don't want to talk about that.
It
Pigment,
just is bad.
melanin,
Which you
color.
don't want to. It's not about. It has to be brought up and has to be to the forefront that we are all brothers and sisters.
Mm,
And that's what I'm teaching my children, and that's what I know you teaching your children,
mm,
right? Your
mm.
child, my child, and that's the most
I
important
was like,
thing
how many you
we
give
can do.
me? Yeah.
And rap, because hip hop culture is the most important thing, second to God. I think. You know what I mean? Like
Wow,
that's
that's
right
big.
there.
See, I don't have hip hop culture up there that high on my list. Like hip hop culture to me is like there's I hear you. I know what you're saying, and I
Mm,
have my moments where I'm like, yeah, because it can be a beautiful thing. But hip
mm.
hop culture is a lot of different things to different people. You know what I mean? Some people have no idea about the culture of hip hop.
Yeah,
You've never really experienced that, and we all experience that means something different to everyone. It's not as do all cultures, but
I related to a DNA.
okay.
Reality. Like it made I know I would not be who I am if it
Mm,
wasn't for hip hop, right?
right. Oh,
Or God.
definitely. Yeah.
So like those two things to me are so yeah, my parents and everything. But reality is continuation after your parents when you
Mm,
grow into your young adult life, your adult life and proceed forward. What's your culture?
mm,
And that could be a you know ethnic thing, or it could be something that's way beyond food
yeah.
and location on a map.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pangea.
Mm,
We don't know, bro. All I know is I like to bob my head to some dope beats and I
mm,
like to write some really deep
mm.
things.
You
And it's
do.
brought the best type of anything out of me my whole life.
Mm,
So that's my culture.
that's big. My culture. I know. Oh, that's that. I hear the J. Cruz lyric. I know the
Oh, it
lyric.
came up.
Been
Hold up.
listening to that.
That's how I write. I freestyle.
Yeah, man. So, Don
Yeah,
Juan,
but
man.
Rhonda's sitting in the back though, huh? We
I'm
need to
reading.
hear
I'm reading Don Juan's content. He's like, y'all want to put them on? No face. They're usually pranksters, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with pranksters
bring
because
them
you
on.
can always pull the plunger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
bring them
I have
on,
no
man.
problem. You know what I'm saying? If we get too derailed, we can always, we can just be like next. But But in the meantime, and we'll definitely, I mean, we're definitely open to talking to the people, whether it's through comments or whether it's through people jumping in, people we know. Like, and if you want, we say this to people, only a few people take us up on this, but we're like, if you want the code personally to get up in here and you just something moves you and you feel the spirit and you want to hop in like a cipher, Jay's talking about hip hop culture. That happens all the time, whether it's a dance battle or MCs or just people building, right? So if there's something that moves you, yeah, we can get you right in the conversation. It doesn't have to be just the people who are
Yo, I mean, if you're watching the ProQuo show, you most likely a hip hop citizen.
yeah, and we appreciate all the people who watch it after the fact because we get about I think about 60% of our viewers are after the show, which
Mm.
is great too. So and I'm sure they're entertained by some of the people who may come through, invited or otherwise. So let's if you don't mind, let's get into you want to get into Rhonda Greene?
That's what I can't wait.
All
I
right, so
cannot
I'm
wait.
gonna do that. I'm gonna try to knock on this door and see if she's ready. I'm gonna try my magic.
Knock that.
It works better when you do it. I think. I don't know. There she
Hey,
is.
hey,
What up, Rhonda Greene?
hey, chilling,
Rhonda.
just enjoying the show.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the show much more now that you're here. So cool to see you.
You too, you too.
We've been waiting all week.
Look, me too. This is new for me. I'm trying new things, so this is
That was
good.
the first thing I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, so I might as well jump right into it, Rhonda. I was about to say, have you been with the transition of careers and so forth? Have you been like immersed into this Zoom world and these lives, or is this
You know,
something?
I actually did my first Zoom today with probationer We had to do some work. We had to do some check-ins. I was supposed to be doing it for a while, but this was like one of the first days that our schedule could match up, and I was able to actually log on remotely, because that's not happening real smoothly, you know, with everyone around the state trying to do the same thing, I guess.
I can imagine. Well, in a way I can't, but
but it went well, you know. So since we have to do it over the Zoom, I'd rather do it on a day that I'm working from home, because it's more private, because I don't have an office, you know, like where I can close the door. So that means that person's information, you know, and people walking by. That's not cool. That's not cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a crazy new world, though. This is, I mean, it's like not just seeing you, but it's like so many people, right, that we haven't seen in so long, right? Obviously with me moving and everything like that, longer, but with just, it's not just if you move, right? It's like so many people haven't seen each other for like a year, and this has been the only way. You know,
that's what we were just saying. We hadn't actually seen each other in a year. We've spoken on the phone, go back and forth in email, but we hadn't laid eyes on each other until like today.
Yeah.
So
crazy,
it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's like there's a whole new like vocabulary coming in too. It's like, you know how it's always weird when people are like, "Yo, nice to meet you," right? When you we really meet. I guess we met. Okay.
Yeah, it has you checking. It has you checking language. Language is big. Language is always big. But only people that actually care about language does it even dawn on.
Yeah, there's a few here who care.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah.
You know, nah, you too. I mean, I'm throwing you in that boat too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's
not just it's the most powerful thing. Look, the way I believe it is that the world was created with words. So if that happened, you know, words are powerful and potent and can sting and can heal.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
But silence is deadly as well.
Absolutely.
Probably the worst thing.
Silence at the right time.
Volumes. It speaks volumes.
Because you creating nothing.
You know, sometimes you creating there's a whole lot of energy that can be in silence.
I was gonna say that's the educator coming out right there. I feel like that's a I don't know if that's
Flash mentor.
That's like a weapon in the classroom. If you need to gain control, it's like
just sometimes just put it on pause.
Absolutely. It's hard too when you're live, like even in this format, it's hard to like let dead air be there for a second. You know, you feel just like teaching, you feel like it's an eternity, right? Or if you've ever done like stand-up comedy or been in front of a microphone in any kind of thing, 3 seconds can feel like an eternity. And
that happened to me last week. Yeah, I'm on a women's commission now in Cambridge. We're doing this whole bias thing, racial bias thing. And so they asked a question, and this time I was like, I'm gonna wait for somebody to talk. I'm not saying a daggone thing. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I hear you.
And so let the whole pause go through. Oh my goodness. And it was like that pregnant pause that went on for a lot longer than
too long.
Yeah, but it was good. It was necessary.
Stalemate.
It was necessary. Yeah, but then older black woman spoke up first. But the conversation came back to that pause and why that pause had to be. Because I went on after her, because it's like, look, speak up. I'll tell you I'm pissed off. What? I ain't mad about it. Hey, look, it ain't my shame. Whatever.
Absolutely. Rhonda, you got a clone in the chat over here, man. How'd
that happen? Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's like saying things that don't sound like they would be your vocabulary level.
Definitely not. I don't know if we got hackers in the building, y'all. Hackers in the building. Shout out to my computer.
What are they saying in the chat? What are they saying? What are they trying to have come out of my mouth?
I think it's probably like 10-year-old. It's like smelly poo-poos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's really like I'm thinking of you know what I mean? So it's speaking of education, you know what I mean? But
so Ron, my like reality, what interests me incredibly is you being a mentor. And the importance of mentorship, like for the people, like how important is it to have a mentor, would you say?
I think it's important for all of us, for everyone at every level. Cross-generational conversations, I think, are really important so that you can have a roadmap, see what some things you can avoid, but at the same time, get some new ideas from the people coming up that you may have missed. So, like I'm like a couple of cats I'm working with. I won't say I'm working with, but they sent me some things. They're looking at possibly running for office and putting some things out there. And I had been their teacher a long time ago, and just having conversations and just trying to help them get their thoughts together and what they want to do so that they don't get swayed by other people, and just basically allowing them a safe space to come and for me to go, actually, that's not too good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because I'd rather be the one to say it than someone that doesn't care about you, just trying to rip you to pieces and everything. So,
See, and for the people that don't know, when you see that following, so you got mentor, and then you see she's a probation officer, right? She the type of woman that if you was in the jungle, she would be in the front with the machete cutting the path for you to walk behind. You're behind her, and she cutting the, you know what I mean? So when you have a mentor that walk that path, that you looking at a mess, and then they can pull you out of that mess and say, just follow this. And if they listen, they're good, and if they don't, they're not too intelligent.
Honestly, I'm not going to tell you which path to go. I'm going to just lay it out for you. You choose whichever path you want to go. I'll just try to lay out the different options, because I truly don't begrudge anybody's game, because you are where you are, and I don't know your whole story, but I know some people that have done some really grimy things. But guess what? I don't begrudge that griminess, because if I were in the same situation, I don't know if I may not have made that same decision. So I don't try to point them. Cool. I just try to be me, go in a certain direction. If you see me, that's cool. And I just try to lay out what the different options are, or what could happen. And
at the end of the day, that's all that stems from goodness, right?
Yeah, just you know what I'm saying. I'll be like, I'll tell you in a minute. I'll ask you in a minute. Well, how'd that work out for you? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something that you needed to do, because I know I've made some wrong, some choices. I won't say they were wrong, but they sure did make me go the long way.
Yeah, right. And you want to save people when you can from having to take that.
Right. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've said certain things, and people go and do the same thing, and I just wait. I'll be right here when you get back. How'd that work for you?
You know what, Rhonda? Do you have a good like a percentage of people that you see? Do you find that you have more people like seeming like they want to change, or more people that just like, yo, forget change, I want to stay with, I'm not going to listen? They kind of like this, you know what I mean? What do you feel you see more in your field?
I feel like people, so people want to change, but they don't necessarily have the skills in which to change. So if they're not willing to work, because it's hard work, you know what I'm saying? Some things, depending on where you are, it will take longer to, all right, here's an example. One cat was like, oh, I want to get a master's degree. I was like, all right, you have a high school diploma? No. All right, so let's start there. Let's not talk about master's degree. How about we get you a GED first?
Slow it down a little.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So people can want things, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get it just like that. You know what's funny? So they want change, but sometimes it's not realistic. But if I can kind of break it down a little bit and put it into little smaller bite-sized pieces and make it real, and and I've watched people get that GED, get that associates, get a job and become a counselor. I've seen that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible, but it takes work.
It can be life-changing, and obviously, as someone who's been in education a while too, we go back in our educational careers, but you see it all the time. You see I often think about the very small decision that person made, right? Good or bad, and normally good are the ones I tend to remember, like where somebody was having trouble, right? And they just decided to push through it, and then you see where they're at, and it's like you can't even explain to someone gratification what that feels like, that they made that right choice, that you might have had a very small, you might just been that voice they needed. It's not like you do anything super, out of the ordinary. Just you're there and you care, and then when you see it happen, and then you get invited to these family events that they do, or you're later at something that has transpired for them that's just amazing. It's just, you're like, wow, you never know, like just showing up that one day and just telling, like you said, like being that voice sometimes that they need, that critique, so it isn't somebody else saying, yeah, that paper, it's really not doing it, you know?
Yeah.
I had to do it last week, you know, and I felt badly because this person was coming to me and was real excited and felt, you know, that it was the faculty member was being just extra hard on them. And I was like, yeah, they were being too light on you, to be honest. I mean, this is not good, you know, and sometimes that's it. And they appreciate it, you know, not everybody, but you do what you can.
But yeah, you do what you can. And if you're genuine with it, it'll come back. I mean, I've had kids that are like, I'm calling my mother. I'm like, good. I'll be right here. It's the best thing that will probably happen. I wish somebody would have called my mother. You know, because you know. So
for real.
Yeah. Someone did call my mother.
I got my mother got called in the 5th grade and been on a straight and narrow ever since.
Yeah. Yeah.
My pops was my hammer. My mom, I kind of walked over her, but my pops was like that. You know, he kept me straight as an arrow. I'm like, damn, I ain't trying to get beat by the steel Superman. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, hey, no, but my mother was the type. I said, oh man, if that was my mother, people be like, man, if I had your mother, I wouldn't even tried it. So you know what I'm saying? Friends, family. I had to beat the clock and it was okay. They'd be like, no, go ahead. It's okay. Yeah. You know, my mother didn't play, but that's all right. I actually had people that were in the street, had their kids taken away from them. They were sitting in the park. I came home from college. I had just graduated. I'm going through. Called me over. She's like, Rhonda. She's like, you need to tell your mother thank you. And I was like, I will. And I went home because we used to fight like all the time, like throw blows, me and this individual. But she had a rough situation. She had a tough life. And I went home. I said, so-and-so told me to tell you thank you. And thank you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I recognize there, but for the grace of God, go I. You know? No hate.
Yo, how did you, so you got, I want to talk about this. You were talking about education. You talk about pumping the brakes on the masters. And I know you almost have 2 masters, right? You have one and with another one. And first of all, that's crazy in itself, right? People doing 2 different masters. I see that sometimes and I'm like, yo, like, is it a gluttony or is it just like something else interest you that much, or was it career-wise?
For me,
2 things though. How did you get into education, and why are you doing 2 master's degrees, Joe? And how'd that happen?
All right, so the real short answer is racism is costly.
Hashtag.
Yeah, big hashtag.
It costs money, and so sometimes you're chasing credentials that you probably don't need, but you can't get your foot in the door. Because my last name was Green, not O'Green. I had been trying to get into probation for a really long time, and I had people telling me, you did really well in the interview, but they're giving it to his nephew. You know, and then, you know, you can read the newspaper. There was indictments. They came down. People got indicted. You know what I'm saying? Commissioners were fired. That was all through the time over the 20 years that I had been trying to get on.
Now, is it if you try to get in one, are they all connected? Like
now, yeah. So now, if you now that you have to actually take a test and pass a test to be considered for a position, whereas before, you know, and still you can probably manipulate that as well, but before, you know, so-and-so's nephew,
fucking suck my cup.
You got hackers, y'all.
Yeah, yo, the hackers coming in, man. They trying to get a piece of that sponsorship.
Yeah,
man. Sponsorship money. They're looking for that sponsorship money.
Yeah, so that actually was happening, and it's funny because people that got in when I wanted to get in are on their way out, ready to retire, and I'm only getting ready to be 6 years in. So that's where I mean racism is costly. So while I was trying to be a probation officer, I was doing some substitute teaching. I had worked in a bank. I had left that. I had paid off my undergraduate loan, bounced. I was working in trying to get into probation, and I was doing substitute teaching and doing a night job. I worked one of those. What do you do when you sit and you watch kids in the house? And you do the sleepover for at-risk student, like
RA.
Yeah, it was like an RA. I was like an RA, so I did that, and then I did that during the evenings, and then on the weekend I ref basketball at the Y. So I was making decent money. I was working a lot, but it was all trying to go in the same direction. So I went to an interview, and I asked the judge what I need to do to, if I get a master's in education, will it keep me on the path for probation? And she said, yeah, since she started out as a second grade teacher and now she was a judge. I was like, so I went ahead and tried to get a master's. I got my master's in education because they kept offering me teaching positions and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I had my own classroom before I had taken a education course. So I figured I'd get some credentials in there. And then that's how I got the first master's. And then still couldn't get in. And then when I left education, there was a forensic master's program. So I started with that, looking at that. And just from talking to different people and looking, I was like, oh, if I just do this, I can get a different type of master's, because I didn't have a blueprint. Yep. So, so then I got 3 credits shy of that second master's, which I'll probably never get because I finally got offered a position in probation, and it was either do the internship for 3 credit hours or take the job that I've been waiting 20 years for.
So the second one's in forensics. Is that what it is?
No, it's actually, I changed it. It would have been in counseling psychology with an emphasis in trauma.
Okay.
Clinical. Gotcha. It would have been a clinical degree.
Everybody just knock it out, yo. You got 3 credits, man. Whatever you can.
Nah, but I know, and it's for an internship, and it was kind of hard because people don't want to just give up 3 credit hours. They want you for a lot longer, and so it just didn't kind of work out. But
now you need to take a clip of the show
at this present time.
It's all explained. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be like, no, I just need this last couple credits.
That's incredible, Rhonda. Great job. Great job.
That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. Next up is photography. Click, click. I'm not taking another damn class. No, so let me stop. Not true.
Yeah. So did you want to do you were talking about how long you've been trying to do probation. Was probation before even education then in terms of what you wanted to do? Or
yeah, actually. So in fact, I knew I was a marketing major. I was a business major. I went to Hampton. And I came out as a business major, but all my friends were education majors. Well, not all of them, but a good lot of them were education majors. I used to help them put up their bulletin boards, and I remember someone asking, like, "You're always over in the education department. What are you doing a business major?" I was like, getting A's. I was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not changing this. Yeah. So I did well in business, but I never really took advantage of it because I never tried to do an internship or anything like that because I always had a job when I came home. So I like I said, no blueprint. I was first generation kind of thing. So now I just try to tell people, hey, look, it's okay. Go ahead and get an associate's if you want. Save you some money. Go ahead and try to get an internship while you're in school. Make some connections. Just because now I see how it works, and to try to save some people some heartache.
Yeah, I did a little video on the same thing. I've been doing those little posting videos. Before Jay and I were doing this show, I was posting a lot of little videos here and there, and now I don't find the time as much. But I still love to do them when I can, especially when the weather's warmer. And one of the things I got into was that same topic. It's like, why would you really go for like one of these big name schools or something and waste all this money? And I'm in education saying this. It's like, what a throwaway money it is. Unless it's free, you know what I mean? It's like close to free. It doesn't make any sense. Go get an associate's, exactly what you said. I
tell people all the time, I taught in public schools beside teachers that went to Harvard. And guess what? We got the same damn paycheck.
That's it. Yep. That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
And you ain't living in debt for 10
and
more
I'm
years.
not living in debt because I actually went to a HBCU, and before I left my job in banking, I paid off my student loan, the first one.
Oh,
what I'm saying?
You
but
guys
don't
must both know how many people throughout their lives, or what's like after you graduate another 20 years paying a student loan off or something like that. What's that statistic?
Yeah, but I went back, and so no, I'm right with him because
you back with him?
I'm back with him.
You hit the reset button.
Yeah. I'm back with him.
Doing like 120 credits of graduate work.
I'm doing life.
Landing the job that you wanted 20 years later is incredible.
So I just applied for a new position within the trial court. We'll see how that pans out. That interview's coming up, but it's all about.
What's your location,
I try to my passion.
Where you at?
I'm actually I'm over at the Edward Brook, which is the number. It's the first court in the country. People don't understand that the significance of that.
Wow.
Because we are one of the 13 colonies. Massachusetts, one of the 13. But the first court established in the United States was Boston, and it was.
What were they doing?
The Edward Brook, now called the Edward Brook Courthouse, but that's why we're titled number one. If you ever look at how the courts are numbered, you have like the first court, second court, third court. That's just how they came up in order. Yeah.
Got you. So what does the day to day look like for you? I mean, is it totally different every day, and how much of this is similar to sort of the education experience? Is there any similarity?
Oh, there's a lot of similarity. You put up with the bullshit that you're saying. I mean, okay. I mean, there's a lot of similarity in that people try to get over, and the it's just that sixth graders and middle school and high school, they're much more creative. So
they got a notebook for ideas.
Right?
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, don't come at me with the same excuse. You better make me laugh. You make me think about something. So, working with adults, I'll be like this. Can I just tell you that I knew sixth graders that would have been like better story. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So I like, if you're coming with it, come with it. Yep. But
don't be telling me the dog ate the homework kind of thing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's funny.
Yeah. So
that
kind of thing.
When you're in higher ed, you can just kind of be like this. I put the blueprint out there like this. I'm just like, I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't care what the excuse is. If you're absent, you're absent. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need, you never feel pressured to tell me a relative died or any of that stuff. It's all good. You're absent. You're absent. It's on you. You're paying for it. You know what I mean? So if you're going to be absent, you're going to be absent. If it's on a test day, I mean, that's really on you. But I don't need to know. Don't feel like it's high school and you have to type me a letter.
You could tell me, but watch this. Telling me in your words really don't matter. You better find documentation to verify that. Because it's not me you need to prove it to. It's going to be the judge.
I was one of them students in high school where I missed I think it was 30-something days in the last quarter. My sophomore year, I skipped 35 days. But my dean loved me so much, and I say that in that record actually.
In that song,
yeah. My dean passed me
through the school system
because he likes my personality. Like, I was a good kid. I hated school. I was, my backpack was dictionaries and thesaurus and notebooks and rhymes and all that.
Let me tell you something. But you were doing something though. You were doing. But see, here's the thing. Here's what you just said. My backpack had dictionaries with notebooks with rhymes. Right. You were actually doing something. So there's a difference. Do you know what I'm saying? Your mind was moving, and if you're a true educator, you can actually see that, and you work to that strength, and you don't try to pigeonhole that. So I can understand that as well, but at the same time, you don't do what you're supposed to do, you ain't going nowhere.
Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, with me anyway, I'm not passing you.
What was your behind the scenes reason for wanting to get into this line of work?
Actually. It was actually a story that happened at a basketball game, believe it or not. I was after college, I was working in the bank, sitting watching a basketball game at the alma mater and everything, and there was these girls in the stands, and they would sound like sailors. One girl, she just sounded like a sailor, and
the mouth was going, huh?
The mouth was just going, and the dudes just kept coming at her, but her friend, they weren't messing with her because her friend had decided, you know what I'm saying, just zipped it, and they just left her alone. This is high school. This was high school. This was Ringe. This was Ringe. And finally, I was just like, the only reason they're going at you is because you sound just like them. And you sound like a sailor. You know, I said, so that's the only reason that is you all going back and forth.
Right.
And she said, well, who the hell are you? And I went, good question. I said, you know, I had something smart to say, but I went, well, first of all, I know I'm not someone that's getting belittled by a bunch of teenage boys. That's one thing. I know that much.
I can hear you saying that now. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that much. I said, and I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just trying to let you know that you keep coming at them sounding like a sailor, they're going to treat you like a sailor. So, but when I went home, I actually thought about that question really deeply. Who the hell am I? And I realized that I could actually make money working with kids because I had been doing.
You already doing it.
I was working after the 9 to 5 in the youth centers. I was a youth counselor, so I was doing that 5 days a week. And then it was like, I don't know. And I was getting sick going to work at the bank. That mess was ridiculous because they tried to get me to go out and pre-qualify people for mortgages when they didn't have the money and then charge them $500 for it. But I had read the Community Reinvestment Act. I knew what the game was. I was like, I will not go into my community and do that. And how dare you ask me?
Yep.
So I knew my time was going to be short there. They just kept moving me up. They just kept moving me up. I was like, nah. So I bounced.
Yeah.
So basically, like, so you also sat back when you say that question hit you. You're also like saying, like, who am I to actually be saying this to you? Like, what is my credential in a way? Is that another piece?
Who am I? It was who am I as a person?
Where you are as a person?
Who am I? That's the way I took it.
Okay.
Who am I as a person? You know, to step to this young woman, because ever since that time, I'll tell you exactly who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's someone that cares deeply about you. Someone that, you know, but I have that together. But that first time when I was hit with that question, it sent me into a little, you know, reflective moment. Like, well, who the hell are you?
Those are great. Those are great
MC
epiphanies, though. Those moments are great.
Yeah.
So but that was me. That was a changing time for me. Like that was something that I really remember taking some stock into. Okay, so I'm over here working in the bank, making money, you know, and I think, I don't know if I then decided to work in the youth centers after that. I think I might have started working in the youth center after that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually did that afterwards, and then got into education when I realized I can actually might as well make some money doing this full time.
Right. So in this role, are you seeing, like we were talking a little about it before we jumped on, do you clearly, you know, you'll have people that'll say, oh, who are you to be doing this job still, right? They're gonna be like, why are you doing this job? And like, what good are you doing? Or like, why you? And what's you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. But
I don't run into that, Pete.
I was gonna throw one more piece if you can blend this into the answer too. But are you seeing in your role an impact? Do you feel like that there's disproportionate people of color that are getting trolled in every day that are like behind the line, or is it kind of you're not seeing that, or like what has that experience been, especially now?
Yeah. No, actually, the people that I see are people that have got the bit with the drug. It's the drugs that don't have any color at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't matter who you are or what you are.
Doesn't matter. I've worked the ones that are perpetually back in the system. The underlying is usually a drug problem.
Yeah.
So we don't try to just throw people in jail because you violate your probation, because you relapsed. But if you don't get yourself into treatment again, you know.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. You're not going to go to jail because you're on drugs. But if you're on drugs and you go beating people up in the head, you need to go to jail.
Damn straight.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and so the way it is with me is I'll work with you to try to get you into treatment. But I got one cat. He went in. He goes in the front door and out the back. And I don't go finding your treatment, but I'll support you. But I figure if you do the legwork, you're more likely to stay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But so you won't find me over here scouring, looking for beds. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to be me. I mean, people can do that, and I actually do know how to do that. And if somebody's down right then, I know how to pick up the phone and do that. But I actually have a one of my things is I will walk you through the process the whole way.
They got to put effort in. At the end of the day, if there's no effort,
I'm not working any harder than you do. Period.
Right.
I done burnt out
that's
once.
an educator speaking too.
Yeah, I'm not working any harder than you do. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'll try to model it for you. I've scripted phone calls where I write out exactly, hello, my name is, right down to everything that you need to say. And then I will sit right across from you and watch you make this phone call and help you and guide you, that kind of thing. And then we'll talk about now how far did you go that way versus the way you try to do it. And we talk about that.
Right.
I'll tell one cat in a minute. I was like, dude, I said, yeah, the counselor was a fraud. He was no good. I said, but he just lied to you to get you out of his face. I said, because your decorum sucks. I said, and if you don't know what decorum means, think about sucks. Put it
together. Marry those two.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but right now he got himself into the treatment program. He got himself a phone. I said, because look, you're already in violation status. Come February, whatever, you either have the things or you don't. I either say, oh, Your Honor, he's actually gotten his credentials together and he's doing all right, or I don't think so, and there's nothing that I can do to support this situation, and I suggest he do the duration of his sentence behind bars.
So on the interworking of that, that's what I don't quite understand how that works. So does your opinion on that carry sway then with the judge? Is the judge kind of already made up their mind? How does that work?
Depends on the judge.
Okay.
It really does depend on the judge. But I found that, yes, they're looking to us to, if we've come to them with the things that we've tried to do and it's documented, or their lack of, because they haven't done anything, or there's an additional charge that continues to happen, things continue to happen, and it's a revolving door. I have had people go from a continuum without a finding, meaning if you go straight through, they'll just dismiss it.
Right.
Right? No, well, it stays on your record, but it's as a dismissal, but not, you know what I'm saying? Versus a continuum without a finding. You keep finding yourself in violation. The first time I'm going to recommend that violation be turned to a guilty. So that's the first thing. All right. So now you're sitting with the guilty. All right. You keep messing up and we go back. Okay. We try to do some other things. And if I've done some steps in between before you messed up, maybe again, this time, maybe I'm recommending that you go to jail, or maybe I'm just recommending that guilty be a guilty in a suspended sentence.
Yeah.
And so here we go. We're back at it again, and you go through and you mess up again. Now we're at the court. If you are now found in violation for anything, it's out of my hands, because the legislation, the statute says, with a suspended sentence, if you are found in violation, I must request that you do jail time. I must request that suspended sentence be imposed. So you have now made it so that it's no longer even in my hands.
So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3.
On to all. I tell them all the time, you don't want to keep playing like it's sports. But because tell you the truth, I asked for the jail time after the second time. This ain't baseball.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That's good.
No, that's just me.
Right.
Because I do this, and that. I'm like, I'm going to ask for it. I might not get it. The best thing that I could probably do for you is asking for maybe too much jail time. Because the judge then goes, oh, that's just way too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow. That's deep. Wow.
So you just got to know what you're working with. I mean, and there's just some people, unfortunately, are set up right from the beginning with the type of sentence that they've been given. Like if you are given a sentence where you have to finish your undergraduate degree, okay, and that's been done, you have to finish. You have to finish your undergraduate degree. Now, your attorney has alluded to the court that you're about to get a bachelor's degree and you're only a certain amount of credits away. All right. Now, first of all, you ain't verified that. I don't believe you. He's locked up. He's telling you whatever. Okay. Because he just wants out, because he's been in there since before Christmas. All right. So he just wants to get out. So now I'm sitting there and I'm Like, can you just ask one more question? Can you just ask? If you ask this one question, I'll bet you we'll get to the bottom of it, right?
You need to be the judge is what you need to
and
be.
I'm sitting there, and I got this judge over, and there's a judge over there, and she's looking over me, and I'm trying not to look because I know that, you're looking at. And she finally said, "Probation Officer Greene, do you have something to say?" I said, "I'd like to ask if he is even enrolled in school."
Oh, wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that works.
And guess what? He was not even enrolled.
Wow.
And then it's like, and he had to pay a hefty amount of money before he would even be able to be enrolled, of which he's not going to be able to make during a pandemic with no degree. And yet you have 1 year to get this undergraduate degree.
Good luck.
I think that's a setup.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, even if you're in good steed, you know what I'm saying? That's tough just to do in general. The amount of people that are just knocking those out in 1 year now is tough. Man, that's crazy.
Yo, what happened? We lose Rhonda?
There she is.
Nah, I'm right here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You took a 1 second hiatus.
Hey, we got to give some shout outs real quick too.
Play some music.
Makai, Makai Mitchell, yo. Peace out. What's up, brother? My man Michael, yo, Labonte, that's my man. Low, actually. What's up, brother? Amber, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate that. Yes, melanin deprived and melanin fro. You know what it is. And Felix, what up, man? That's second to none. We're gonna have Felix Hernandez or Felix, I think his name Hernandez. Second to none. They're gonna come in the first or second week February. They got a little crew, they're local hip hop deal they got going, but that's gonna be cool too. But yeah, shout out to all y'all, and of course, the most unofficial sponsorship that we got tonight is this almost empty bottle of the V8 Healthy Greens. And listen, my girl Caribbean.
Why is it almost empty? Is it because it's so good? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, but this ain't as good. My girl's Caribbean, and they had a Caribbean blend. I was like, I got to get that, right? And that is so beautiful, but I can't find it nowhere now in New Hampshire.
Wow. Well, I wanted to come with something.
They're racist.
Yo, well, keeping it multicolored, man. I want to shout out Lifesavers, man. Lifesavers.
That's funny.
The 5 flavors, the hard candy joint. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need that. You think that's just. I got that as a gift. I got it as a Christmas gift pretty much every year. The 5 joints in the thing or whatever. But I be liking those. I would never go buy these myself, like ever. But when I get them, I'm like, yo, you notice it's not connected to the 5-pack anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, Lifesavers, man.
Jolly Ranchers. Shout out Jolly Ranchers too, man. I won't. I'm the same as you though. I won't go to the store buy them, but if I had them, someone got them for me, I'm like, yo, I'm
gonna have them. I'm gonna have them.
I turned into an immediate crackhead. I'm like, yo, what
you a saver head.
It's the brotherhood, no, immediate lifesaver Jolly Rancher crackhead. What the hell?
I swear I was about to offer you guys one. See, that's how weird you get it. I swear I was like, wait, I can't do that. So I'm looking at y'all.
That fruitiness made me have to pick up my little drink.
Oh, what you got? What you got, Rhonda?
So it's a mix of the Schweppes, but you can't just have only the Schweppes. You got to mix it because I'm a true West Indian. You got to mix it with some cranberry raspberry.
Such a good mix.
Yeah.
Because you both were talking that tropical thing. I was like, I got my little mix on over here too.
Cranberry does it.
Yeah.
Add some bubbles to that cranberry. You're good.
That was the little Schweppes, these little mini ginger ales are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. These little mini Lifesavers.
So what we got? We got so much. We got so much. Process.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to hear. I love hearing the process.
The process.
I just really enjoy that. Even getting the show together. How you're doing that? I'm trying to get some ideas. It's good, but I like listening to the things that I know they're not finished, but they sound good to me.
That's it.
Bro, we got that clip of the. We gotta show that clip of that. You said, yo, we should show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Show that little clip of the process, and I it's funny because I've been studying leadership hardcore, right? And I heard a story from one of these guys. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name, but he was a McDonald's dude, way up back in the days, and he was saying, you need to take your journal, right, and write down everything that you do on your day-to-day basis, so that when you're like in your 60s and people say, "How did you do it?" it's all right there. You know, you could sell the book. But I'm thinking, yo, we could just do a vlog. Like, it's all we got video footage better than the book. You could transcribe it too. You got 2 in 1. So I'm trying to get into the mind state of capturing as much information of this process as I'm taking my journey still. Yeah, and share it with the people. And then, hey, 62 years later, we could do the double. We get the book and the video, whatever the hell it is at that point. You know, 2 in 1, 2 for 1.
Wait, look, I heard some people that did like a book and an album. So I think, you know, someone I know did something like, oh yeah.
I see what you did there.
So it's definitely
good job, yo, Rhonda, you playing it? Yeah. Oh, and he got it ready.
Now you know what I'm reading right now. I'm reading this now. Reading that right now.
That's it. I saw that one. I put that one in the basket. That's a key. I've been reading so many things.
And you know what? It's suddenly relevant again. And we didn't even really get into that yet. Case for impeachment, which was written like in 2016, right?
They were preparing themselves. They're like, look,
they weren't ready for twice though. They were like, suddenly that book's selling again.
Making history, no matter what, it's history. Now, how it will be interpreted, that's always the question. You know how you all were earlier talking about hip hop culture, and I came up I feel like I was coming up right with it.
Right.
So I never was a hip hop head. I always respected and appreciated lyrical people that had some lyrics to say. I was with you, and I always appreciated the culture in terms of the art, the fashion. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my style, because if I look at it, my era that I really just like in history is the Renaissance era. I really just if that fills me. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just my style. But I feel you when you were saying that music, you can't have culture. That's a part of it. Music is a part of culture, just like food, just like the way people worship. There are so many aspects of culture. So behind your family, I could see you seeing hip hop as something that you grew up underneath, especially seeing what you're doing in your everyday through this hip hop venue right here.
Yeah. And you know what I think the biggest aspect of it for why I have it so prominent for me personally is because as a young kid, I was a screw up, more or less. And, I got into a lot of things early on. Yeah, shout out to the screw ups. So I made my mistakes and I got lucky as hell on a lot of things. And I moved around a lot, almost like I was in the army. I went to like 7, 8, like 10 schools in 2 years type of thing, right?
Wow. Okay.
So here, and I'm talking about New England, you know what I mean?
Yeah, wow.
From Maine, Mass, New Hampshire, all over the place. And it was like I could never settle in, but hip hop and my rhymes and my music, that was so that was so young. And people I care about try to take it from me.
That's
try
when
to
it's real.
Yeah, and I'm still doing it today. So it's like that's why for me personally, that's why it's that powerful. But I could see, for some people it may not be. But
that's the segue right here. That's the segue.
Is it the segue? Perfect.
I think that's the segue.
I'm a killer, like the loud, I'm kamikaze. Salute the chief, the click deep like astrology. Rebuke the meek.
Yeah, so that sets it up right there.
Break it down with ProQuo. That was a great job, Pro. You did that like you knew what you was doing.
I did nothing right there. That was Jay Cruz all on that piece of work right there. So
whatever you do, play what you play, and then
all right. Since we're gonna break it down, all right, you're gonna leave that to me. All right. So again, Rhonda, I'm gonna also throw this out there that Jay Cruz has had sort of a lyrical epiphany of sorts. So some of these lyrics will be changed. You'll be hearing some of them.
I was there when he came to that.
Okay,
I watched one of the shows, so that's all good.
So I don't need to run that again. So I'm gonna play "Get It Off Your Chest," and this one is really in pre-production, really pre-production. So we're gonna try this one. Let me know if the audio is there. I switched up everything, so it should be good. So let's see. You hear it?
Nah.
Nope.
Nope. Let me try that again.
Almost.
Because I hear it real well.
You did so good with that. Break it down, though.
That was nice. That was not. I'm loving to see the progression in the show. You all keep adding things each time, even with the show, just like the album.
Yeah,
that was almost smooth right there. Let's try it again. We're gonna get it off your chest.
What song you playing? Get Off Your Chest.
Yeah. You okay with that?
Absolutely, man.
All
Anything we do is great.
Here we go. That's a yes.
In life, we taught to breathe pain, right?
Right.
And it is spiritual.
Indeed.
But the human element of it all makes it so beautiful, you know what I mean?
Talk to him.
Cruise. I didn't die to resurrect. I bury pain after I wept. Old habits to an old mind state. I do reflect, recognize and realize the grind ain't about your neck. It's more about getting better over things you trying to rep. I used to change like the weather if you was raining on my steps. Feeding me the drama. Now I take away those breaths and make you think about it. Now you can get it off your chest or let it slide. Swallow pride and leave that how it should be left. How many people getting got cause they be playing with them F's? My people need a knock that trickle down to every thought and pull you out of rest. You still alive, so reach the sky before your death. Crucified, you're welcome. Hope you take the steps, digest.
My crucifixion is an affliction from this pastime. Remember I caught the urge back when I first heard Nas's halftime. I always had rhymes, but at times I put no purpose into journaling. Then it was clear to me this was therapy, natural Percocet. And whenever I murder it now and then, honestly say that I feel that the verses lit and my vocal sound prodigious upon some Andreas Perez Ursulit. That's when I were working more with fervor, I get merciless. The merchant of Venice whenever I pen this, Lord, applaud your journalist. Muddle on earnestness, my service been my life's work. By putting this pen to paper, neighbor made certain that my life's work. And this is light work with my pencil at my desk. I'm keeping my 16s 100 presidential address. Yes, my stress is lesser now. Ask anyone since 21. Much better it's probably ever been since 1/20/21. Money come and I'm better off like many off to investing. When time is of the essence, we all Richie Lou Dennis destined.
Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be real tight, man, when that's all hemmed up.
Yeah.
I didn't die to resurrect, man. Yeah, that's.
I already hear the hook, man, and it's like I was working on a hook on it yesterday.
Oh, own that, man. Yeah, own that.
Little lyrical singing was going on.
Yeah, bro, do your thing, man.
But yeah, I still am stumbling through that one. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to get that one down and hear what it sounded like. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a high tech flow right there too that you got to pull off.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, remnants.
Well, let's hit these back to back. It's that remnants.
ProQuo, welcome to the sanctuary. Catch praise, we the honorary. Blessed days, had enough of the malevolent. And life's made search hard for what I represent. Might have been 5, still ride till I die. And I'm turning to reminisce from my culture, from my culture. Sing it loud with your eminence. Ride till I die and I'll turn into remnants. Stay present. Welcome to the sanctuary. I cross bridges with my military. A camp full of champs, all the chumps wearing singularity. They stand out, the guards up. Every shot pulmonary. The cards out, chalk it up. I'm the dictionary. The flock's nuts for this holy war emissary. It's all very nice. The little price playing verbal Pictionary. All my life I don't write. I spit cemeteries, corrective lenses for my visionaries. Perfected images of how to click in them is legendary. Cruising all black, get the signal ready. My rest are living on itinerary. The staff deep with the source of levy. These trash heaps swept up, got the mortar ready. I smash beats, rest up, step up, man, the more the merry. My lip for calm for the stardom, which is wicked heavy. Black suits pressed up, hope it's Machiavelli. The sanctuary's like, welcome to the sanctuary. Catch praise, we the honorary. Blessed days, had enough of them malevolent. And life's made search hard for what I represent. Might have been 5, still ride till I die. And I'm turning to reminisce from my culture, from my culture. Sing it loud with your eminence. Ride till I die and I'll turn into remnants.
It's that ProQuo flow so effortless. Scream on the track with no emphasis. Threads fresh to death, stay pressed like George Jefferson. Moving on up to the Lux, that's how we represent. George like Wheezy, real young money easy, believe me. When I said George for some, Washington on the one, then come the two, Tom Jefferson. You press them up like records, them dead presidents, but we've been about them fees since we was at Ski's residence. A new precedent, people's lying for capital, listening to their president dying now at the Capitol. That's that reciprocal, flipping it like revisionist factions, multiplying like fractions, how division is. You know the symptom is bearing them false witnesses. Facts, we ain't check them, just spread them just like some sicknesses. Let's get these signatures up and make some differences. Real lives on the line, plus or minus like integers. Let's get these signatures up and make some differences. Real lives on the line, plus or minus like integers.
Catch praise, we the honorary. Blessed days, had enough of them malevolent.
I hate that
and life's made search hard for what I represent. Might have been 5, still ride till I die, and I'm turning to reminisce for my culture, for my culture. Sing it loud with your eminence. Ride till I die, and I'm turning to reminisce.
Stay present.
Stay present.
I love how you start that with stay present. I was like, yo, he did it like he's teaching class. Stay present. Stay present, y'all. Yeah, man. That vibe of that hook, that was crazy. You might change the lyrics on us, but
well, I actually handed it off to somebody that's a really good singer.
I know, you're telling me.
Yeah, so hopefully, if not, you know what I mean, we'll go back to the drawing board, but I just don't like, I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't move me. The beat moves me, my verse moves me, and that was done on the, you can even use the mic for that.
Yeah, you can tell the mic was very different.
Yeah.
I was like, you
very. Rhonda Greene, yeah, we seeing that.
I like it.
This one's good. I like it.
Just give him a little bit. I don't know.
Let's take a journey, introducing down a path that God gave us. Yet again, if you ain't a praying man, it's all good. You just press play. Cruise. Hey, yo, D. Let's talk to him, bro. Yeah. Check you in the sky, then I'll tip that fifth. Empowerment, not a power trip. Entitlement, not no sour shit. Kohinoor crowns on some diamonds spent. Take it by the horns, we all ride with it. Haters transforming they irises. From LA to the seas to where the islands is. Saints versus demons, whose side you with? Convert you real quick, we endow that flip. Short change, turning stacks, that's the vibe you get. We stay lit. Dope purple cloth, weave the thread I stitch. Similes with every word, fuck a Grammy slip. Yeah, syllables of independence is the flag I stick. Biblical proportion, our man's instinct. Most them not near my ink. I'm 8 minutes to a shine, can you bear my drink? The length of vibration on some timeless shit. 100 meter dash where my time is spent. Run, can't escape though. I run sun from the base flow. That's all I'm really trying to make, yo. The length of vibration on some timeless shit. 100 meter dash from my time is spent. Run, can't escape though. I run sun from the base flow. That's a monument. The length of vibration on some timeless shit. 100 meter dash where my time is spent. Run, can't escape though. I run sun from the base flow. That's all I'm really trying to make.
Live in stereo, who's anchored down the line since scenarios or cameo performances enamored since Arsenio. Coming into America, yo, think it's like them video stereotypes. We got all types up in our cities, yo. See, many got them viruses. Downloading what they shouldn't on some pirating. Not only on that music, someone violencing. Welcoming in their parlors while they smiling. You'll find them in places where you think it all. Looters to school shooters, capitals at the mall. Rap ain't all y'all think it's cracked out to be. The industry feels still, many will look cracked out to me. No doubt to me, this whole game's about to be switched up on the flipping how we think about drip. Zooming out with ProQuo, calling out classic. Cause they all classics.
Man, these betas are better than most of these people saying they beasts.
Like the vibration on some timelessness. Everybody knows how my time is spent. I sit around writing all these dope lyrics because a dope lyricist gets down like this.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is coming together nice.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Can I look? Have y'all seen this? Did you see the movie One Night in Miami yet?
I've not.
Nah, unfortunately, not yet.
Watch that. Y'all gonna have a show about it after you do that.
You're
Okay, one night in Miami.
Yeah.
I don't
Was
know
it
where
on
you're going with
Netflix?
It's on Prime. It's on Prime.
I got Prime. And I don't be using it like that. I forget I have.
I know people be sleeping.
It's like an old dance move that you get on the dance floor. Oh, I forgot I got that move. You know what I mean?
It took me a couple of years before I started actually using it now, but they have some good things. They have some good things.
I watched some pretty good movies on there, but I missed
I'm
that
gonna be
one.
like, you know what Rhonda Greene meant? Now I got it. Because right now I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out.
J. Cruz, man, I got something for you.
What you got?
Speaking of breaking it down, man, what are you talking about, dog?
Well, and I think what I would like to do is actually, because we were talking about it and I thought about it more, is play the. We'll go back to that one for sure, but play Saint song, just the first few bars, just for like 8 bars of it.
All right.
Just
to,
so I can show y'all
the Saint song. All right.
The Saint song. So again, I called it the Saint song, and I preface it with saying that I believe we are all saints, right?
Okay.
And we'll leave it at that.
All right. So let's try that. So hopefully this is still playing because it's being a little weird on my side. But let's try.
Shaking on.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good. You hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature.
Bro.
To our creator.
Quote.
The Saint song.
You don't make up for your sins in the church.
Yeah.
You do it in the streets. You do it at home. The rest is bullshit.
That's loud enough out there. We hear it different.
Woo! Damn.
Sounds good in the headset.
Yeah. Here's a song for the saints.
Yeah.
Woo! Damn. Here's the bomb, catch the weight.
Yeah.
Before we ever thought about popping, we had to learn something about Compton. New York vibes, riding apple, no joshing. I see an equal and we betting on the auction. The finer things in front of things is in my doctrine. Rain night or day, I put it up cause I'm a marksman. The city rhyming that scheme. Boondocks making coffins. Blind to your dreams cause you X without the crossings. You getting murdered on these scenes cause we praying with these orphans. Perilous children, I'm an idol, what we talking? Cruise.
All right, so anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, that what I chose 3 areas of influence to my essence. And the education that basically hip hop gave me to say, look, we all should be kings and queens, right? And it's difficult to also find someone on your level. And what I'm saying by that is like the work ethic, right? Like Pro being a worker like that. And then it's hard to also take that ethic and blow up and be heard, right? And most of us go unnoticed, which is where I ended. Y'all have a cut out Boondock Saints, because Boondock Saints, the movie, if you haven't seen it, especially if you're from the Boston area, that movie like didn't do nothing, but it should have like blew up, right? And that literally is from what I just said to that Boondock Saints line is exactly what I'm saying. So now I revisit it. I say before we ever thought about popping, right? Which is we had to learn something about Compton because they was like the Bloods and the Crips. That's the origin of and that I would believe gangster, right? And then I say New York vibes because my influence is on the East Coast, so New York vibes, right? I was a Route 2 guy. I got my music from there. Rotten Apple, just to solidify that. No joshing goes to the new kid that's doing stuff, and he ain't from New York, but it kind of feels like it because he's got that essence.
Rhonda,
and that's Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow.
Jack.
That's cool. It's all good. I love to learn.
Yeah, so Jack Harlow got this song on the radio.
To represent everyone out there who doesn't know what he's talking about. We've talked about this at length. All right, cool.
Yeah. But that's what the show is, though.
Yeah.
If you're here, a lot of times people kind of know what you're talking about, or they're gonna take a little jot and they're gonna Google it. They're gonna try to find out, and if they don't, screw them.
Yeah,
you know, what I'm saying?
Right? You either want to know, normally I don't
put it in the chat and ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me personally, I'm like, you know what? People are interested. Like me, I like writing my rhymes, explaining them. I'm like, I feel like it takes too much time. Like really, if you want to figure it out, but it's necessary, right?
John
it is.
But
saying,
also,
great
look,
intro to
people
the song,
will
Jay.
interpret things the way they hear it. I mean, with their own because when you said no Josh, for me, I was like, oh, that's a white name, not a little white dude. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like the new kid. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how. So you can take it anyway.
And that's what it is, and it's crazy too. Like my brother, I'm Jay, my brother's Josh, right? So his Josh. So
no, and I have people named Josh. It was once again we still have what we go to.
It's very Megan. It's very. Megan.
Oh yeah, Pro said the same thing when I saw. He's like, "Yo, that's so white," and I'm like, "Yeah, right,
right." That's all. Yeah,
packages the whole deal, and he represents Georgia. I think is Georgia,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
So that's what that line equates to. And then it says, I see an equal. So I'm the new school rapper. He's a new school rapper. He's a lot younger than me, but he's my equal.
Yeah.
So that there's no joshing in that because you my equal. I ain't playing around. It's for real. And then the finer things in front of things is in my doctrine. The doctrine is the Bible to me, the essence of who I am. And the finer things is the king philosophy. We all need to be kings and queens. And I rain night the day I put it up because I'm a marksman means I put my damn work in and don't mess with the marksman kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say the city rhyming that scheme, marksman, Boston, kind of the way I flow with it would have worked if I put Boston in there. And then I say boondocks, making coffins, blind to your dreams. So they made coffins in the movie and they were blind to their dreams because reality, that should have been a blockbuster, not no damn afterthought, like I had a dream kind of thing after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that should have blew up. So that's where my mind went right in those 4 or 5 bars.
Word.
You know what I mean? So
that
people
things. I like that. I like that.
I
like the process.
Thank you very much. I like sharing it. I'm actually enjoying. That's the first time I ever broke down anything. Well, second time. I'm lying because I did tell Pro, but
when I hear marksman, I was like, did you say Ray Knight? Because I'm a marksman. I was like, who's Ray Knight? You know what I'm saying? So
I say rain day and night.
Yeah, so I thought he said Ray Knight because I'm a marksman. I was like, who is Ray Knight? So I started googling Ray Knight, and I was I was like Ray Knight, and I was like he's a retired baseball third baseman or something. I was like,
wow.
And I was like, I was reading about him, and I was like, and I listened to it again. I was like, that's not what he said. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm always googling Jay. I'm like, what
see,
he said? You know, I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
that's hot, man. That's hot.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate it.
Shout out to John H. He said the Harlow verse on that reason joined his heart. Yeah, he's got skills. There's no doubt about it. He has skills. I was saying to Jay though, on that collab track that he was on, where he starts first, it was like, you're like, oh, this is pretty dope, and then you hear these other just beasts get on there, and you're like, yo, I kind of forgot about him after the baby rapped and a few other people rapped. I was like, I don't know if you're thinking of the baby as like a beast, but he's got skills.
Hey, that's cool.
I like these new school rappers. I'm down with it.
I don't even think of them as new school rappers. You know what I'm saying? There's so many new. I mean, you look at the releases that came out like today. I mean, like I look a lot of times at like who came out today, whatever. There's like 2 people on there. I have no idea who they are. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of them. And then when I listened to them, I was like, oh, now I know why. You know what I'm saying? It was like I get it, but I get why to somebody that would be their star. You know what I mean, or their idol or whatever. And then I always feel like it's our job to turn them on to the, whether it's a Harlow or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever that MC is. I don't even mean Harlow, but I mean somebody that you would never heard of, kind of thing. And be like, yo, this is a different way to come, And
we will be getting it on with look at 5 Minutes of Flame going to be coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yo, I've got a lot of emails from people that haven't sent music. They're like, yo, how can I get on your show? And I was like, well, you can send the music. And now I don't have any music from anybody.
Oh, I got to tell one of my former students, he has his album out. He's pushing it. So I'll have to send him y'all's information.
Yeah, please do. One other thing to say to people while they listen to that, Ron, I appreciate that, is that when people are sending music, right, don't send us somewhere else to get your music. Like, I got 2 emails like that too. They're like, yeah, just go to, don't do it like that. Like, you can put a link if it goes directly to the music, but if it doesn't go right there, that's whack, yo. You don't make anyone do that. You don't know what I got going on or somebody else has going on. Why I just get distracted from doing that because maybe it was my 7-year-old is like wanting lunch or something. Now, I didn't get through your 3 clicks to get to
it's like music. Rhonda was saying before. She's like, look, I'll write the script for you and you got to do it. Look at the script is this: song title, artist name,
it's really
link
easy.
or file.
little
Boom.
profile. Bang.
And say, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, because if I gotta go to a Spotify playlist and I gotta go looking for that's not the move.
Ads and all that. No. We ain't trying to earn you pennies.
That's real. You know that's real talk right there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This is your platform.
Yes, it is. And so we're just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make it work. I'm looking. I thought I heard something falling back there. I was like,
it could be my bad. I don't know. These kids home.
Speaking of those records, one of those records on the wall back there is Rhonda's got a couple family members up there. Rhonda, so those of y'all don't know, Rhonda connected through Invasion fam forever. Yeah. Shout out to Cambridge. But and speaking of which, I meant to ask you when you were talking about school. So did you influence Jay to go to school there as well? Was that how he ended up there?
So I'll just say I may have influenced them. We never had direct conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But in our family, there's I'm only when I went to a historically black college. No, not true. I'm the only one that graduated from a historically black college. Because a couple people had gone to different ones. Right. It just didn't come all the way through. But they went, and so that got me looking as well. But it wasn't. Yeah, because my cousin Dean had gone down to North Carolina Central.
Okay.
2 years before me.
Yeah.
Then he ended up going in the military. Yeah. So, but wait, look, because he said, I remember they were like, oh, you need to go talk to Jason. He's going to your alma mater. I said, he need to talk to you. They were like, I was like, I made it through. You need to talk to the people that had some pitfalls, figure out what you did, and don't do the same damn thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because we all have something to give. Yep. Do you know what I'm saying? Your experience is no less. It's just as valuable, to the whole picture.
Shout out to one of the other dopest Jays I know, Jay Scott. Jay Cruz,
that's my man.
He's an immense rapper who may not have the time. Yo, you guys got to meet. He may not have the time necessarily to be able to to be doing it right now the way you're doing, but when he does, man.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard him, I'm like, damn, he's Jay too. We got that same vibe.
He's special. So when you say that, it's so funny because he went down to Hampton, and I remember talking to him before he went down there. Just said, hey, try to stay away from here, stay away from that, do whatever. But to be honest with you, you need to go talk to Dean and figure out what he was doing, and then don't do that. I said, because I didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I wasn't at the parties. Right. You know what I'm saying? That just wasn't me. I said, but then he came back, and one of his first jobs was at where I first started working, Shaman Bank.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
Word.
So, you know what I'm saying? But he's doing so well. He got a beautiful family.
Absolutely.
That's great.
He's doing great.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Scott. Shout out to Derek Goodman.
Big up, Jay. I know you, man. I heard you, brother.
Sponsor. The shop. We gotta get the barbershop as the unofficial.
Yo, you see, I'm all covered up. I need to go get a cut.
You gotta go see him.
Gotta go get a cut.
I gotta get my beard all fixed up too and lined up. You know what I'm saying?
He can do it. He's definitely an artisan. I give him that. He's an artisan. I've sat in other people's chairs. He does a good job.
He does a good job under the belt there for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny. Jay and I, you might have heard us talking about this, and some people, we're talking about like careers and stuff like that. And I'll say, Jay is at the same talent level as myself. Like, we're all talented MCs, but I would always end up doing the most, and it wasn't because of talent. It was always just because of life arrangements or you know what I mean? Just having the schedule flexibility or whatever. And that's so important to MCs who always will say, yo, how'd this cat get on? Or how'd this dude get on? Yeah, arranging your schedule is, if it's a priority for you, it may have to be your entire career has to be thought out. You know what I'm saying? And like, it don't have to be. Like, some people are perfectly happy, doing, like, I'll call Jay and be like, yo, can you come to the show? We'll rock out or whatever whenever we can. But that's not as often as maybe, that I'd want to do or something like that. But for other people, you got to really think about that. If you're trying to, even just to find time to record tracks, you know what I'm saying? You got to.
Time management. Yeah. Essential.
Yo, I love y'all's flow. Last week, you were just talking about your organization, how you need to make sure that you stay organized so you know which tracks you did. This time, in terms of talking about time management, these are all skills that just transfer over into life in your everyday. But if you can figure it out how to do it in your passion, then you can really, duplicate that in some other areas. So like I said, I just love the way y'all go back and forth with that. It's really setting a blueprint.
Well, we're gonna try to see if we're gonna set a blueprint. We're gonna let this young person in right here. What's going on, man?
What's up? Oh,
I don't know if he knows he's. I don't know if he knows he's live, but we'll leave him there. I saw he was.
Might not be. He's muted a little bit.
Okay.
He was authenticated through YouTube, so we'll
That's cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, and that what's great is like, with today's technology, there's really no excuse. But the problem is that, like you said, the blueprint, a lot of people don't know where the beginning is, or in the fact that they're actually in the process of making it. So like, it's as simple as ask, seek, and thou shalt find. So what are you trying to find? Well, look, man, my time's all messed up. All right, so let's Google and YouTube time. Oh, time management. You find it. You know what I mean? Get interested. And it's like anything you trying to do or become, you can Google it or YouTube it and learn. I'm listening to seminars on leadership, biology, psychology on YouTube for free.
Right.
So it's like,
we're going to try him again too. What up, O?
Hey, what's good, O?
We're letting you in, man. You're behind the curtain.
We're getting better with that too, getting the people in. We have people hanging. We let them hang.
I usually, if I don't know the names or they're not authenticated, I won't put them in.
Well, you see what happens when you let some people in.
Yeah, we do. Well, actually, we didn't let them in. They just decided.
They just came in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remove you till you got your thing straight, man. But so I mean, it's a big piece of it, yo. It's whatever you're doing, whether it's even doing a very humble, small little show like this, even just finding the time to be able to do the little things. I mean, Jay was probably working on a little video that he made, and when I say little video, Jay put together effectively a whole video for one of our tracks. I mean, I don't even want to ask how many hours you put into that, but it's crazy. It looks like it could have been done by
my eyes were like, I had to tape them joints
open.
It
happens, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But that's when you're passionate. That's because you enjoy what you're doing, and then you have the time to just go. Keep digging.
You know what?
I might be
big
giving a sneak
extra
peek of that too, Jay.
Special. Well, we gotta. Yeah, we should show it up there. But I gotta give a big special thanks and love and appreciation to my queen, who has my back 110%. And yesterday and today, I said, baby, I'm gonna pick the kid up and the kids up and do all that. But can you help and take care of that? I need to be suction cup to this right now for 2 days straight. And the power of my woman be able to do that and still give that gratitude and thanks. It's huge, man.
That's big.
So big shout out to you, Jennifer. I love you, baby.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Let's show the fruits of the labor here. I'll see if I can put a little bit of this up here.
Oh yeah.
Let's try it. Give a little piece in
quarantine mode, yo.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yo, what's up?
What it is.
Instant brotherhood.
You already know.
People stop believing in that kind of thing, though, you know what I mean?
Sure indeed.
You create your own fate, see? Remind myself I'm only good as what my tapes be. Been rhyming over rhythms for a while, it's one take beat. Dialing up the FaceTime, the purest MC. Wildin' over here, surviving presidency. Lifestyle changes all for things we can't see. You all covered up, I'm unclothed, all free. Now I wanna come relieve my son's the energy. Physical flaws testify the best breed. Intervals pause, time to keep it OG. My essence too deep, no sleep, too identical. Forgot unique, lost sight of the general. You hear cruising, go to church all week. Rain fire over each one of these beats, no cheat. Hip hop election here. Pro told me that my lyrics like the best of years. Say cheers.
Yeah, that there, that's my brother though. True fam, same vibe, different mother though. Sick for years, no tears, never suffered though. Immunity, split from the herd, we the buffalo. Y'all haven't heard, take the word, but discover though. Once Doctor and a beast come together, Mark Ruffalo. The upper glow, out the east, blow the cover though. And 9 superstitious, but I'm bumping Stevie Wonder though. If we receive them keys like Khaled in the same keys of life, could we harmonize the ballads? Y'all know the skills from the superficial battling, but once we dig through the depths, it gets staggering.
Giving him too much, man. Too much.
I know how they got a they got a big sneak
That's a
peek
big
on
take.
that.
That was a big thing.
It's all good.
You know,
Behind
it's like the songs. It's, you know what I mean. We show you behind.
We ain't,
the veil.
we ain't trying to hide
That's a
nothing.
precious picture of me right there. The way I stopped that. Stop that on a strong pose. Yeah, that was hot. Yeah,
that was nice. I like that. I like that.
And like the thing is like, you know, a lot of times people will say, you know, even like making a track behind the scenes or doing a video, yo, we might not go with any of these tracks that you've heard. We might, you know, they might all change, whatever, but we listen to them every day. We rearrange them. They're in an order. There's 16. We think about the order, how it's gonna sound. You know what I mean? Like you gotta take it that level. And Jay, like with the video, same thing. Jay may be like, you know what? I that was incredible today, and then tomorrow he does this tweak, and he's like, I'm gonna throw it away, and I'm gonna use it. You know what I mean? But you gotta go through the process. And
shout out to Pro with that. You know, his arrangement and organization of that, like putting these track lists and these playlists together. Because reality is like, I haven't really even touched on that because he does so good. Like when you have someone that's the yin and the yang, and you know, hey, that's what your strong suit is. You got to do that. Let me work on this while you do that. And these playlists, man, it's like how you can just put one song here, one song there, and the whole mood changes. You know, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
The minor stuff, man.
I like it.
Yo, Rhonda.
Yes.
You came
Thank
through
you.
and blessed us. Thank
you for having me.
So much for coming on.
Thanks
our
for letting
show.
me hang out.
Yo, and anytime you want to jump through, you know how to jump through legit.
Yeah, I'll be checking y'all out, throw a little stuff up in the comments. I like it. I like it. I like what y'all doing. I just like people doing their thing.
Yeah, likewise.
We appreciate your support.
Respect to your grind too. And Bill, best wishes to the whole fam. Tell everyone I said what's up.
I sure will.
Yeah, anytime.
All right.
Come on through.
Peace. Thank you.
Stay blessed, girl.
Peace.
All right. Good night, y'all.
You too.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, Pro. That looking at that was in, you know, I love the fact that, you know, the service to our community since forever, right? Youth and the basketball thing, and you know, waiting on a job that she's wanted for 20 years and finally landing it, and then saying, you know what, I'm going to the next step, that win mentality. Yeah. And
and you know what, the way she introed it too, like when I asked her about, like, you know, what's up with the two masters, she's like, racism. You know what I'm saying? It's like so real. It's like, you know, it's funny, but it's funny how her life mirrors so much of my own, and in some regards I probably modeled it after her, because she was teaching, you know, she was kind of going through the same motions I was, and I think she got her master's like before I did and all this stuff, and so she's been somebody that I've modeled myself after too, in terms of not knowing what the steps are. You know what I mean? We would just talk, you know, about, yo, how you do this and what are you doing? You know what I mean? What's the next move? We talk about classes and sequences and how you get the degree. And I felt the same way. I didn't even know what a master's was until I was in school for my bachelor's. I did not know what a master's was. I didn't know what a doctorate was. I didn't even understand. You know, it was just, those were words to me, and they were what other people had, and they were the furthest thoughts from my mind. And so
it was that first generation thing, like she said.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's like, if you don't come from that academic family, you got maybe a couple parents who've done the college thing or whatever, or at least one who's been through sort of the traditional, you know, college thing. No one's going to be able to necessarily walk you through, like, this is what you do in your first day on campus or whatever, this is how you pick your majors. That's that cultural capital piece, and without it, it's crazy. So I mean, I feel a lot of what you're saying. Like, I reffed basketball too. I reffed in Cambridge. I reffed in Lowell before that. I had a business degree because I didn't know why. Like, people were just like, oh, go get one. I did a master's and kind of said, oh, is that I remember asking someone and going, should I get a master's in math or should I get one in education? They were like, get one in math. You'll be able to do more. And I was like, yeah, I think math would be real smart anyways, because it seems hard and people will respect that. You know, but I wasn't even sure of what I was going to do with it. I knew I wanted to teach either high school, but college was in the back of my mind too. And I was like, can I get a master's?
Yeah, you recognize the importance of it at the same time. Or you was like, I know that.
No clue. And I was driving a cab into, you know, between leaving, I got arrested. Basically, it led to me losing my job at Enterprise indirectly, because it was another, you've seen my book, you know, it was another claim on my driving record, right? So and luckily when I was with Enterprise, they worked it out. So they were like, yo, we don't want to let you go, but we're just letting you know that you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better be
Right.
thinking of something else you can do. We can let you go with severance if you want. It'll be on. So that's I had that, sort of benefit. And I was like, yo, this is the blessing I need. Cause I couldn't even figure out how to get away from the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I was doing what I was saying about J and D, like working those full-time jobs that aren't very flexible. My flexibility was a car that I had. It allowed me to, go back and forth in New York, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I just say all that stuff too, because you figure it out, you know what I mean? And you just keep asking questions. And then sometimes you take the long way. And other times people can point you to a path of least resistance. And if you don't have those mentors, I meant to ask Rhonda too, maybe she can hit us up and tell us later too, but to speak on the importance of having a mentor, right? Even when you are being someone's mentor. Because like, I mean, in a lot of ways, like I said, Rhonda's kind of like that person for me too, someone I could speak to, ask, like, how does this work or whatever, or just a different angle, as well as you'd be like, the same way we are with lyricism or whatever it is in life, you just kind of talk about the trials and tribulations. You need that, it's not always you need to be a mentor. It's, I always try to find people who can, point me in the right direction, because you're growing.
For like, I look at it, I see Pro, and Pro is, you're my mentor right as of right now with my music. Like, you become that, including with, the brotherhood thing, but like, my dad, I've had plenty of like just personal development mentors, and the importance of that, learning from other people's experiences. And you have your own, but that other people's experience is so huge. But my greatest finding was definitely coming across you, because like, yo, the dude that did everything that I wanted to do with my music, did it, and we're chilling, and he's an educator in addition to that. Like, I got the best of both worlds. I needed someone to be that I could say, like, I fully respect everything you're saying, and we're like on the same path, you know what I mean? Like, that takes a weight off of my shoulder,
And a lot of people, thanks for saying that. A lot of people wouldn't even put themselves in those positions, sometimes. And I get why. It's not a knock on the people who don't. It's a credit to yourself when you put yourself in a situation that allows you to be where you want to go. Like when you find mutual benefit with, working with somebody else or whatever. That's the whole theme of Instant Brotherhood, right? It's the whole, that's your vision. And for people that don't know, this entire album is Jay's vision. Jay came to me like, yo, look, I got these bangers. I got this concept, this Instant Brotherhood kind of thing. And basically he's like, you're that dude. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like didn't, pose it as like, you did in a way. You were just like, maybe we could do it.
I didn't know how to try. I was like, do I try? I'm like, you know what? Bump that. Let's just throw it out. Right?
I was like, this dude is, because you're still, you've been through the transition of many different levels that you have to travel, right? I equate it to martial arts, or like, when you see like the Batman Begins story, like how he's training and trying to get to that, master level or whatever, or, Bruce Lee story, whatever it is. There's levels you go through, right? And it doesn't mean that you're special because you went through some things. It just means you've learned, you're able to reflect, and hopefully you can give that back to somebody. And as you go through these sort of doorways, you're changed almost forever. You're like, yo, I just discovered this, to put it in Cali terms, like this key, right? I just discovered this key. And if you hoard that key to yourself and you don't share that back with somebody else, it can kind of make you bitter in a way. It can kind of be like, if you don't share the gift back, you know what I'm saying? Like the same way you're breaking down the lyrics. If you don't do that for somebody, it doesn't give you a chance to reflect on why it is you went through all those hurdles. You don't do it just to make yourself.
And that's the answer for most people. Why?
What's your why?
What is your why? If you, luckily I had a real long time. My father, again, like coming in there and having people like Jim Rohn in my life at a young age, Bible studies at a young age, and learning that like your why has to be something. And I never had I was always like the F you, like I don't give a what, you know what I mean? My attitude was like F that, and I had that attitude for a long time. And then, my life went through their ups and downs. I found my girl, and then I had my child, and I'm like, oh, my child is going to be the definitive. And it wasn't. She was for sure, but I had to dig deeper than anything beyond material things. Like the thing that was just that spark that said, what do I want to accomplish in life beyond anybody else and beyond any material thing? And I can't take any of this stuff to the grave. What else is there? And that when you kind of separate yourself from that, that's what I did. And I was like, wow, I figured it out. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah,
and I'm
and
sure
that's why we need those mentors, and we need people that we need to be both, I guess is what I'm saying. We need to mentor and we need to be a mentee. And if you don't have it going both ways, you can get lost, because you start to feel, especially teaching. I know this from teaching. A lot of teachers, I think, make this mistake. We always think of ourselves as mentors, and I know obviously Rhonda could attest to this too. When you're in that mentor position, you sometimes feel it's a big load. It's a big load, but you need to have that person who can mentor you too. It's sort of, I don't want to say it takes the load off, but just by changing the perspective, it's that student before teacher. Like, I have stuff to learn before. Shout out to Fee, who says that lyric in one of our songs. You have to have somebody that you can give back to always, and that doesn't mean it's not an age thing. That's not a status thing. That's just sharing something that you have that you know to be true, and just saying, hey, take it, as Rhonda put it, take it or leave it. You don't have to run through the wall. You don't have to do whatever you want. This is my truth. I'm being truthful with it. I want to share it with you, and I don't need any glory. I don't need, teachers it's a very gloryless job. You see, that's what I was saying. You see those nuggets come back to you years later. You have to wait, plant those seeds, and see what comes back, and that's where the glory is. It's not like someone's going to be praising you 24. So if you're trying to get in for the praise, it's not coming. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to match what you might feel that you've done. And hip hop can be the same way. People will see, like, yeah, like you were saying, like I've done a lot of shows and a lot of records. I've fortunately, more recently in my career, like over the last decade, been paid for a lot of the shows. Whereas before that, I did 200 shows a year, and probably half of those were unpaid. You know what I mean? And it was like, probably more than half at one point. And you go through that, honing your craft. And people will get resentful for that. They'd be like, yeah, well, I'm not going to do this if I'm not getting paid. You might not be getting paid right now, but that might be the process you need to do to take you to a place that you can't even imagine, where you will be the marquee name, or if that's important to you.
And then the day you quit, where you said, I'm not going to do that show that you would have done, could have been the one, right?
Yep.
It's like the same thing with that parable that I was saying. It's like, it's so simple. It's like, you have to find that belief is the key, obviously. And some people's drive, maybe they like, to me, praise, I like, forget praise. I don't really care about it. Some people are driven by that, and that's cool, but don't make that everything.
Yeah.
I was driven by,
because it ain't coming the way you want it to come.
You just have to know, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to do, for me, getting on this show, doing the video as an example, that was what y'all just seen right there is literally going to be the first official video ever released.
Yeah.
And I did it in I record all that in like 30, 40, a couple hours, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really. And it's like, I had to get over the fact that, guess what, Jay? It's a new era, right? This isn't 1995 where you could just have a dope record and blow up with a decent video. Everything is now camera first, image. The music is like, it's like down here.
That's not crazy, right?
Right. So it's like, I had to get over that and say, guess what? I got to start, I got to come up with the beard. I got to make sure I'm always dressed, which is good for my self-esteem as a person, as a human being, right? Stay clean, stay fit, do all that. But the camera's going to come on. We're doing the podcast, like all these things that I would never have dreamed of wanting to do, I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it now. But I hated it in the beginning, for real, saying, damn, I gotta do this, or I gotta take these pictures.
Yeah, it is part of that game, It's like, I got them all over the place, like, I'm just looking around like, yep, gotta have them, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's part of the business plan. Yes,
and if you don't, it would make somebody say, well, why don't you? You know what I mean? Like why don't you? Like, if someone says, yo, I don't. If Fee and I learned this real early, when we were doing shows, we were doing festivals when we were teenagers, and we go to these shows and people had 8x10s, and we're like, yo, where are you getting these 8x10s? Those are beautiful. They're like, my label got them, or my manager got them, or talk to this person. And so we go talk to them and be like, yo, like, where do you get it? And sometimes they'd be like, yeah, these are hundreds of dollars, only the label can do them. And we're like, what's the cheaper way? And before you know it, we're like making our own, and those little things, I can't tell you how many shows I've done where I've had the 8x10 and the major artist doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And what
That's
happens
crazy.
is the crowd perceives you as the major artist, you know.
Mhm.
Or I've been placed on a promotional flyer, right, where I look like the featured act, and I shouldn't. And it's sometimes it's simply because a person who doesn't know anything about hip hop, right, is making the decision of who should go on there. You know, and they look at sometimes your promo and and that stuff is huge. Whether someone even chooses to write an article about you in the first place,
It's
can
you know,
literally be that.
yo, an example, right? To me, let's say, for instance, you got two people, right? They're both bakers. They both bake incredibly well, and we put them in either a 5-year or 10-year plan, right? And we'll go with a smaller version, a 5-year plan. And the 5-year plan is to
I'll
say
plan
at
to
the
what?
end,
To make to be a good
own
baker?
their own bakery.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the 5-year plan. They're both great bakers, own the bakery.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got woman A. She's like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go do it. She gets her bakery. She got all the best ingredients. She's buying all the best stuff, high quality, everything for this pie shop. Goes in, and she was a stay-at-home mom before.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the second lady that goes in and says, I want to have that bakery.
Mm.
But and I'm a good baker, and I would do the same thing she's doing, except what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work at a bakery.
All right.
And learn some stuff.
Yeah.
Who is going to have a bakery at the end
no
of the
doubt.
day? The one that started sweeping the floor first.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go like the people that go in and they jump. You can get lucky, of course, but let me tell you something. You got to put the work in, and you got to go through the steps. It's not just like that. You know what I mean? Take it from me.
That lyric. I'll sweep the floor. On one of our tracks, right? But yeah, you got to be down to sweep the floor, man. You got to be down to do the little things, and and just being prepared. You know, for if you don't have all that little stuff matters. You know, but you don't have to be prepared and spend crazy money too. Be prepared is like, you know, I want to share this with people, yo.
But that's also the same stuff that, to me, when I'm the reason why I thought about the bakery thing is because that's the small details of her being that person being in the bakery field, learning from the people, like the difference of being a hip hop artist and having it as a career,
right,
or being just rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The difference.
Let me share this, right? Because you've been talking a lot about this thing. So this is for anybody out there. This thing's called a Wakelet, right? It's called Wakelet. It's basically like Linktree, but it's like a little bit more on steroids. And a lot of people don't know what this is. But so for me, this is sort of the behind the scenes of what my page looks like. And this is where I keep, you see, I just put Jay's thing in there so I can have access to it if I wanted to play it tonight, right? Now I have like 20 of these things. If I was going to show you behind the scenes, I got tons of them for all kinds of things that I need. But this one is for like my shows and videos and stuff. So every time I have an article about me, or somebody writes something about me, or there's some kind of press material, I just throw it into this thing. Whether it's something that I just wanted to have access to. So this allows you to load up links, whether it's a video link or a PDF, you can just throw it in there and then you have the access. So one thing that will stop you, especially if you don't have management, is when you don't know where you put stuff, right? So just get yourself organized, put all your stuff in one place. And so people will ask me all the time, they'll say, yo, you don't have a big management, big label. Like, how do you get all these opportunities? Well, you got to make your story interesting, but at the same time, you have to be prepared. So I got all this stuff at the click of a button right behind the scenes. So if somebody calls me right now, right, boom, yo, Professor Lyrical, what's some of your songs and give me some press? Yo, I got it all right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and whether you're on your phone or your computer, he sent me the link. I'm like, dude, what? It's so easy to navigate.
And I don't need to I send you the link. I don't necessarily send this link to other people. I'll just take the link out of here. Like I'll click this and go, oh, okay, here's the Boston Herald thing when I did the college project, right? So there's the article link, and now I can just send the article link. So, and I can do it instantaneously. It isn't like I'm looking for stuff. You know, I got a lot of stuff in here, and this is like scratching the surface because it's not like I knew to do this all the time. I didn't know to do this all the time, but at some point, I stumbled into the thing, and then I was like, yo, how could I use that to help my career? And I do that with teaching. I tell faculty do the same thing. I'm like, yo, I got one from all my school stuff. So people will say, yo, how are you prepared and organized in your school? Yeah, I get this thing called Wakelet, and I just keep all my things right there. Yeah, and anyone who works with me can, I'm always talking about this. I'm like, yo, I got a Wakelet for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, did I lose you? Bro, I lost you. Well, so people, I might be getting into another video tomorrow. We're gonna find out. I got M. Dot, my man from Boston area. He's got a video shoot tomorrow. Oh, there you are. You back. We lost you for a second. But yeah, M. Dot shooting a video tomorrow, and he wants me to be in it. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. And then I didn't get home till like almost 2:00 today, and he's shooting a video at 1. And I'm like, tomorrow, I hope. But if I get out of work early enough, I'm gonna go to Dorchester. I'll be in that shoot. If not, I'll let you know. M. Dot, appreciate the invite. He's got a huge album record, actually. I'm sorry, with this dude from Poland, and this video probably gonna hit to the millions.
Yeah, I mean that dude's got a lot of wisdom too, man. He knows what it's like to travel and to spread the game to other countries. A lot of people, self included. I used to be real hesitant to fly too far, and it can hamstring you. You might be pushed in a different direction if you're not willing to explore some of the opportunities. Like I'll get a request for a record, right? Like in a country, and I won't follow it up sometimes. And then there'll be other people. Boom, they snap. And they're jumping on it, and now for life, you get that crowd. You can perpetually go there year after year. You just keep showing up there. And artists be living in Europe, literally living in Europe.
At, yeah. And it's funny because my dad, a successful businessman, and he always said, he's like, your retirement is set up overseas, like, you know what I mean, more or less. And is what he was saying. Make that money over there. That's gonna be your royalties for last. That's a lifetime deal.
Absolutely,
that's definitely rings true with the hip hop deal. And he's been here. He toured a lot. This year he would have 2020. He was going to or this past year, he was set up to be looking beautiful, and of course COVID hit and everything got shut down.
I would tell you, shout out to him. Shout out to Rhonda too. Yes, Wakelet definitely should be an unofficial sponsor. And peace to Gary, you got to keep your eyes on the paper, and that, like Jay was saying, the why is huge. I would throw this out there too for the people who I started doing more domestically because I was too scared to go internationally, right? So Rhonda probably remembers the story of a flight gone bad. I was on a plane to get hit by lightning. You know what I'm saying? And that going to Puerto Rico.
Oh man!
During rapping for rap stuff, that was sponsored. Shout out to Red Bull.
Snap! I forgot to. I don't want to cut you off, but we got our brothers coming on right now.
Oh yeah, we
gotta get out already.
But I was just gonna wrap this up with this. But
finish that.
Make sure if you're an international traveling artist or you're an artist that wants to travel internationally, you scout their social media too, right? The same way that social media is not all the same in countries. And domestically, don't sleep on these colleges. Hit up student activities, organize your stuff, put it in a Wakelet, bang, send them one link, send them to one place. Nice and clean, and just keep pumping them out. What are you doing for an hour tomorrow when you got nothing going on? Nothing? Why don't you hit up 4 colleges and let them know about yourself? You know what I'm saying? It ain't that hard.
And to add on one last thing to add on to that too. Very soon I'm going to come up and I'm going to have that card that I was talking about, where you take this card, you flash it, and you put it in front of your camera or your phone, and you get every single link that you want someone to get to. Yeah. But anyway, people, thank you very much for tuning in tonight on this Friday night with Pro and Quo.
Shout out to Hip Hop Citizen.
Hip Hop Citizens, our brothers, make sure y'all stay on. Go to hiphopcitizens.com. Check out their show. They kick it live, and they're on right now. We interrupting their set. We love y'all.
We out. Peace, y'all. Peace to Rhonda Greene.